Was that live? Why'd he say like a ghost? He said he was gonna say go, and then he went.
Because it went
What's
too
up,
long.
everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
I like to think that finally Kevin took my advice and watched Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, and he's just quoting Khan. Where it's like buried alive.
Sure, that could be one of the reasons he would do it. I don't know. Hispanic heartthrob, Texas treat, Latino heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds, the globe trotting, head shotting, nitro rifle from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez.
I've got a new flavor of energy drink, everybody. It is white
sponsorship.
White gummy bear. No, I just got it at CVS a little while ago.
Sure, gummy bear. Tell me another lie. Tell me another lie. You know,
white. You're a great entertainer. You're
Whoa, fucking got me. This
Shots
kid's
fired.
too on it today. You
Shots fired.
So wait, it's a white gummy bear energy drink from who now?
Rain.
Okay.
I don't know. It's poison chemicals. I don't know. It's good.
Do you know what the white gummy bear flavor is?
Pineapple.
Yeah, gross. Toss it out, man.
It's pretty good.
See, good for them.
Great.
Good for them for knowing the branding. They're like, if we call it pineapple, people are gonna be mad. If we call it white gummy, people are like, oh, I fuck with white gummy. Yeah.
Wait, are we down on the white gummy bear? I like the white gummy bear.
I like the white gummy bear too.
Okay.
I walked into a bar the other day and there was just open.
Is this a joke? Are you?
No, this is deadly serious. I went to a bar after a set, and someone just had left a bag out, and I'm not sure if it was supposed to be communal or not, but there was like a quarter of a bag of Harbo gummy bears left. I was like, should I touch the gummy bears right now? I chose not to, and I think that was the right choice.
Good for you.
Proud of you.
Showing some growth.
Yeah,
Good
that's
willpower.
definitely some adult growth there. He's Forbes 30 under 30, aka the second best baby blues in San Francisco, aka the engaged one at Tim Geddes.
I did touch the gummy bear, so we'll get to that story later in the show, and I can't wait to share what I have with you guys because there's some weird shit happened to me last night, everybody.
Oh,
and I can't wait to tell you
I'm
about
excited.
Well, I want to hear all about that. Before that, let's introduce our guests, ladies and gentlemen. You know him, of course, from Idle Hands. You know him, of course, from the new show Chucky on USA and Sci-Fi. It's Devon Sawa. Hello, Devon.
Hey guys, it's good to be back.
Devon, I won't lie to you. You are in some rare air here, and I'm not sure if you're even aware of it. But of course, you go way back with Kind of Funny. You've been on a bunch of programs. This now marks, I believe, your fourth different Kind of Funny show you've appeared on. You've been on Gamescast, you've been on We Have Cool Friends, you've been on Debatable, and now you're on the Kind of Funny podcast. How are you?
And E3.
Oh, he was on E3. That was on GameSpot. Do we count that? I don't know.
Yeah, we count that. That was in 2015. He goes so far back with us.
What about is that what's the chicken wing thing I did? Was that something different, or was that what was that one?
What was the chicken wing thing you did?
Or the hot sauce or whatever.
Oh, that was an E3. Remember we made a different hot E3.
Okay.
Yes.
That was for GameSpot. Yeah. I felt really bad about that because you were like, that was tough.
Yeah.
So you keep hanging out with us, so we appreciate it quite a bit. How you been, man? It's been too long.
I like you guys. You guys have my son's dream job.
Yeah, I know. I like it whenever you say, Uncle Greg.
I mean, I'm falling apart, Devin, so it's possible he could take my position here at this company when he hits 16.
Eating gummy bears, some communal baskets over there.
Exactly. Just walking in through doing that, just being a disgusting comic in the streets of SF during a pandemic. Devin, what's the news with you? What's been happening?
You know, I'm just promoting Chucky right now, going off to New Jersey to shoot a movie that I'm really excited about. I've been real lucky during the pandemic. I just got really busy during the pandemic. And I feel very fortunate that happened and I did some really cool stuff. And so now I'm just gearing up to start talking about it and getting it out there and getting people to watch it. And so, yeah.
So now, did you shoot Chucky? Of course, this is a sequel to the 7th film in the Chucky universe, the Chucky timeline. It's a show, though. It's going on for its first season here. Did you shoot this entire thing during the pandemic?
Yeah. So it is a sequel, but it's also 80% of the show could be watched by newcomers.
Sure.
It's starting these 4 young kids and their new story, but we do visit the the Jennifer Tilly characters and the old characters.
Awesome.
And we dive into Chucky's origin story, how he became a serial killer in the first place. That's where we're at.
You stoked about it? No, you're
I'm
really
I'm so stoked about it. Man, I said this about Stallone and Travolta. Like, if you could go back and tell 12-year-old me that I'd be doing a show with Chucky, it's amazing.
What an amazing lineup of people. You got Stallone, you got Travolta, and you got Chucky, the doll. Right? Yeah, all equal. They're all icons.
They're all kind of crazy in their own way, aren't they?
Greg said you were coming on the show, and he started talking about this project you're working on, and I was like, I can't watch this show because Chucky terrified me when I was a child. The original movie.
People say that.
It was terrifying, dude. It was scary as shit. It was like like the thing that you're most scared of is your toys coming alive and murdering you.
Can I ask you something? Did you have a Cabbage Patch Kid?
I did have. I had a Cabbage Patch Kid until my brother's friend made fun of me, and then I had to throw it out.
Well, that's where it came from. Chucky came from the Cabbage Patch craze.
Oh, that makes sense too. So maybe I'm double traumatized.
I came up with the idea. It's like Cabbage Patches were the biggest thing, and he just decided, like, what if one of these things went on a killing spree? And that's kind of how Chucky was born.
Man, so, I had a Cabbage Patch Kid named Archie, and I don't know if we named it or if that's what it was named on the tag or whatever.
That's what it told you its name was.
Yeah,
it turned its head to you one day and said Archie.
but as somebody who grew up with an older brother who loved to terrorize me, just fuck with me all the time, and growing up as a kid named Andy, Chucky was one of those terrifying things where my brother would always, hey Andy, like he'd be around. Like, it was terrifying, and I'm with Nick. Like, it's something that for whatever reason, I at the time would watch scarier stuff, but it was Chucky that freaked me out the most. And just I'll never forget getting into my car the first time, and I'm driving it, and I'd always check the back seat because there's that one scene where, like,
where he strangles him with
and it's one of those that I would always just check the back seat just in case, Nick, just in case.
I check the back seat. I used to do the thing where I would walk out of my room and then duck back in just to see if any of my toys were coming alive and plotting against me. I swear to God, this is stuff that I did. And it was because, first off, the movie was terrifying. It was Chucky in general is one of the all-time goats of like horror, for sure.
80s horror for sure.
Oh my God. And Brad was terrifying.
Yeah.
As Chucky.
And he's back now, man. I love Mark
that's
Hamill.
awesome.
I love Mark Hamill to death, but you can't take Chucky from Brad, and Brad's back, and Brad, it's amazing. It's amazing. We're back to puppets. We're back to animatronics. We're back to like the whole, that feel. So
I was terrified of him. He was in a movie with Whoopi Goldberg a long time ago called Fatal Beauty, where she was a cop and he played a drug dealer, and he was terrifying in that movie. And then I think he did Chucky afterward. And I was like, that's it. I can't watch any more movies. He was also in Alien 4, and I was like, this guy is such a good character actor.
Yeah.
Is that Resurrection?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he was one of the crazy scientists. I think that gets eaten by
aliens. He was the crazy scientist.
Yeah, he was awesome with that.
Huh?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm going off the rail now.
The funny thing about Chucky,
Alien 4, I don't know if I saw
Alien Resurrection. It's called Alien Resurrection.
That's Winona Ryder, right?
Yeah, it's Winona Ryder. They got Sigourney Weaver back, and I believe Brad Dourif plays like the lead scientist, who's kind of like. He's got that great air of like he's a little too into the aliens, and you're like, what's happening with the aliens and the scientists? It's like almost a love affair kind of thing going on with it. But that's the one that I think they didn't do very well. I think that might have like turned the series
that was
off for a little while. But I like it. I got a soft spot in my heart for it.
Oh my God, he's Grima Wormtongue?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, Lord of the Rings.
That's what I'm telling you. He's terrifying. That's why I cannot. Chucky, too scary for me. Sorry. I'll watch it because I like you, Devin. But just know that
watch it, Devin. He's not gonna watch it.
Just know that it's because
he's gonna watch it. You promise me you'll watch it. Watch at least the first episode.
I will watch the first episode.
Thank you.
I will for sure watch the first episode.
First episode drops October 12th, right?
Yeah, October 12th. It's the only episode I'm twins in. I play twins in this episode. In the first episode.
Holy shit! Did you get paid twice?
I wish. No.
Is that really not how that works?
We tried.
It's two roles. It's two roles.
We pushed for double billing, and they didn't give it to us. We pushed for
us
a second billing at the end and Devon Sawa, but they wouldn't go for it.
Bunch of jerks.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Don't they understand comedy? That's high art. Credit.
I came up with that like at midnight. I was like, oh my God, what did they give me double billing?
I'm like, no, let me go to bed.
I've been asking to get credit on this show for the last 7 years. They haven't done it for me.
Well, once you do something on this show,
every episode.
Once you do something on the show,
executive
different story. Obviously, we're going to go on a journey with you, Devon Sawa, as you know we always do on any kind of funny programming. But before we get too far from the plot, and before Tim tells his story, I want to get Stephen Allen's question in, who wrote into patreon.com/kindafunny and said, what was it like working with Don Mancini on the Chucky series, and how was it returning to filming in the COVID era?
Don Mancini is, I hope he stays a friend for till the end of time. He's the sweetest man. It was great. It was great working with Don Mancini. He's very talented. He directed the first episode. He's
the creator of Child's Play, right? Like
he's the creator of Child's Play. He was the one that pushed to bring it back to Child's Play 2, which is his favorite version. So that's the Chucky that's coming back, and that's kind of the feel we got, the mood we have going on. It's tough shooting. It's tough shooting in the COVID era. I'm not gonna lie. We shoot in tiers. There's probably 95% of the crew I'll never see their face because I pass them as they have to leave. It's not seeing people's reactions when they yell cut is tough. You always look to see what the camera department, how their faces are after a comedy bit or after a scary bit or after an emotional bit. It kind of gives you that comfort that you did a good job, the scene was good, and people are entertained or whatnot. You don't get that anymore. But we did it, and we'll always look back at this as the COVID era.
Yeah, right. This blip on the radar of your entire career, and then this one time where you couldn't see anybody's face. All right. Like I said, Chucky, USA, Sci-Fi, October 12th. I'm sure we'll get back to it. But before then, I want to remind you that this is the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each coming to bullshit about whatever it is they want to bullshit about. If you want to bullshit with us, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can write in with your own topics. You can ask our guest questions. You can watch the show as we record it live, just like Guy Game Grover is, Joshy G is, and Melissa Hagler are. Of course, you can also get it on patreon.com/kindafunny without any ads, with the exclusive post show we do. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. YouTube.com/kindafunny, roosterteeth.com, podcast services around the globe twice a week. Yes, on those free places you'd have ads and you want to get the post show, but you still have a damn good time. If you're looking for a free way to support us, we are now Epic Creators, which means you can use the Epic Creator code on the Epic Game Store. When you're playing Fortnite on a console, when you're playing Rocket League, wherever you play Rocket League, you enter in the Epic Creator code, Kinda Funny. We got a few bucks. You don't have to do anything, and you feel like you contributed to getting Andy more white gummy bear flavored energy drink. Show it again, Andy. When Andy needs energy, he goes, rain over me. Give me a white gummy bear. All right. I forget what brand it was.
We'll mark
housekeeping for you.
We'll fucking over me. Yeah.
What is it? Rain? It was something.
Rain.
It's something with an R.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rain over me, white gummy bears.
A different type of rain, but it's okay.
White showers.
Housekeeping for you. Remember, the ultimate McDonald's item competition is going on right now. We had more than 50 McDonald's items. We had more than 50
Devin,
McDonald's
I want to be clear to you, Devin. We are not sponsored by this energy drink or McDonald's.
Devin knows. Devin saw why we were we were DMing about him coming on the show in the middle of this. I think he called me Mr. McMuffin. So yeah, he knows what's happening.
Dude, every time you send me an email, I crave chicken wings because at the bottom you're like, you have a chicken winning plug.
Yeah, well, I gotta be true to the brand. The brand's Greg Miller.
Like, eat more chicken wings.
You can go right now to twitter.com/kindafunnyvids. Vote for the ultimate McDonald's item. Friday is the semifinals and the finals. The final 4 is all but decided. You can check it all out on Kinda Funny's Twitter, twitter.com/kindafunnyvids. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, Steve Powers, the Kinda Funny Destiny 2 PC Clan, and the Kinda Funny Destiny 2 PC Clan. Today we're brought to you by MeUndies and Quip, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, Tim, you have a dumb story to tell us?
This might be one of the dumbest stories I will ever tell on this show, but guys, get ready to go on a journey with me, okay? Let me take you back. There's a little bit of setup I have to give for this to add up. One, Joey Noelle lived with me for about a year during the pandemic situation. She now lives with Kevin. And while she was living with me, every once in a while, she would partake in the devil's lettuce. And that is something that I have never really done.
The devil's lettuce.
This is the weed, right?
Weed, man.
The thing that Cool Greg loves more than anything, right? That whole situation. And she tried to every once in a while, very rarely, She
would
would
interject here. Does Joey know you're about to
100%,
dime her out
100%,
about
100%.
You just lost your job.
Yeah, no. She knows. She
Yeah,
knows
this
what's up.
seems
She knows
very
what's up.
uncool, man.
No, dude, there's nothing
Survivor.
cooler than it. It's legal, guys. It's San
I'm teasing.
Francisco.
We're just
Come
teasing you.
on.
We're just teasing you. We're just
So she was like, hey, I know smoking's not your thing because I just can't. I've tried. I can't do the smoking thing. It doesn't work for me. I am just not equipped to be able to do the whole in and out breathing thing. It's hard. That's work for me.
Breathe.
You know what I mean?
Lungs, yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy, this whole
involuntary.
contraption. But she was like, try this cookie. And I tried the cookie, the edible stuff. And it was just like, okay. And it's been this like balance of trying to figure it all out. It's been like a year since that has all happened. She moved out. Now she lives with Kevin. And since then, my brother's kind of got me, Greg Miller.
Yeah, Greg Miller, KindaFunny.com. Did she move out because you're a total narc and thought, you were harsh in the vibe?
Maybe she thought she's going to go to federal penitentiary because
she like feels you over. She sees you up there in your Dare t-shirt, just shaking her in your head every time she has a little soap.
Your
That's
Dare
the problem,
t-shirt.
huh?
Full transparency. I was like, of course, I'm not going to fucking like talk about this without talking to her first. I was so concerned about that originally I was just going to pretend it wasn't her. I was just going to pin it on my brother. I was totally just going to be on my brother. And I was like, it's going to be even weirder if I don't reach out to her and ask if I can tell this story. Cause then it's like, she's going to watch this and be like, what the fuck, dude? And
I just imagine Tim walking on like, yes, officer, she's here. Oh, it's legal. It's legal. I didn't know that.
Exactly. So in that time, I've been dabbling here and there, trying to figure out like what works for me to just mainly. I've never been good at sleeping, so that's been my thing of like, if it's chill time, can I figure this out?
Can
like
I partake?
Can I partake again in the devil's lettuce? And I figured this out, Andy. Yes, I can. With the gummies, the gummies come back to this whole thing. So I was like,
I need some energy. I better get some Rain Over Me white gummy bear energy.
The white gummy bear energy.
You want the pineapple without the fruit.
Okay, so, hold on, Tim. I'm sorry. I don't understand the reference. I'm sorry. What is Rain Over Me? What are we doing here?
I'm okay. So here's what I'm going to say, because I want to call back a joke that I whispered earlier, and it could be misconstrued. Greg says "rain over me," which means in my brain he's pouring this white shower into your mouth. Sort of.
Yeah, I know. Yes, we know.
Am I crazy in thinking this is where you were going with that, Greg?
I mean, no, I wasn't. I just remembered that the thing was called. I thought it was called Rain.
It is.
I started bringing Rain Over Me.
I
See. It's very big. Because hold it back up to the camera.
Why? So
I
nailed it. Rain over me, like the hit 2007 film Rain Over Me.
Yes. Okay. So that makes more sense as a reference, Greg. I'd like to apologize to everyone on this podcast for my reference, and we can move on. Okay. Now. There you go.
Adam Sandler, Don Cheadle, Rain Over Me. Never saw it, but I remember the poster.
Oh, about 9/11, right? Or something like that.
Oh, fuck, was it?
I think so. I think it was.
This is going places, guys.
Devin knew what he signed up for.
I'm looking it up right now.
When the Twin Towers went down in 2001, Charlie Feynman lost everything important in his life.
Well,
told you.
Okay, cool. Hey, we're moving on, everyone. But so here's the situation. Since then, there has been 2 times I've been in situations where
I just say I understand now why some of your guests don't talk. Because I'm just like
because they like their careers. Is that why?
Yeah,
you knew what you saw. You've hung out with us too much, Sawa. You know what you're up to.
Yes, exactly. So I will say there's been 2 situations I've been in. Since I've been trying this out that have put me in bad places. One of them has been with Kevin, and we're not going to talk about that. That's the story for another time.
What? I don't think that's the right kind of phrasing. No one put you in a bad place.
No. I'm just saying, like, I'm not telling that story. I just didn't want you to chime in and be like, oh, what about that time? There was a time. We'll talk about that later. What I want to talk about is what happened last night. All right.
Yep.
I'm at home. It's just me and my fiance, Gia. We're having a fantastic night. It's a bachelor in paradise night. That means we're chilling. We just had dinner. We have nothing but reality TV to watch all night long. Cool. The perfect time to what, Andy? Partake. Okay. So I partook. And I'm just here and I'm sitting here and, I'm in a little high watching this bachelor show, watching people fall in love and whatnot and all that. But something crazy happens about So it was a 3-hour episode. Was that too much?
Christ.
Yeah, that's a conversation for another time. It was insane. But somewhere around the 2-hour and 15-minute mark of watching Bachelor in Paradise on ABC live as it's airing. So that means I need to watch commercials, okay? Commercials are playing. And I'm used to these commercials. I watch the show every week. I understand what ABC commercials look like. You know, you get a lot of random commercials pushing a bunch of antidepressant things. We get some commercials pimping new ABC sitcoms coming out, whatever, rinse and repeat. A commercial starts playing. And I'm sitting here like, what the hell? This is catching my attention. Why? Melissa Joan Hart. Melissa Joan Hart, all of a sudden, talking straight to the camera, saying, hey, I'm Melissa Joan Hart. Yeah. And then it cuts to like a sitcom type intro. But instead of it being different people being introduced, it's just Melissa Joan Hart. And it just says Melissa, and she looks at the camera, and then Joan, and she looks at a different camera, and then Hart, and she looks at a different camera. Now, at this point, I'm high enough where I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I want to point out that it's late at night last night, and I happened to read a tweet out of nowhere with no context from @TimGeddes on Twitter. And this is all making so much more sense now, because the tweet that I read last night is from Tim Geddes. It says, did I hallucinate that Melissa Joan Hart thing that just played on TV? And now I know that he was fucking baked out of his mind.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, but guys, the way the story ends is going to shock you. Now that I've set the stage for what this is, let me take you back to October 28th, 2014.
Jesus.
Okay. Does anyone here remember what happened on October 28th, 2014?
Probably a Halloween party. I don't know.
Too Many Cooks debuted on Adult Swim. Devon, do you know what Too Many Cooks is?
I have no clue.
Too Many Cooks was a random intro to a TV show that started playing at about like 1 a.m. on Adult Swim, where it was an old 80s style, 90s style sitcom where it was just introducing characters and they'd look at the camera. But like the joke was, it was a 11-minute thing that just kept going and getting progressively weirder and weirder. But like it was directly targeting people that were inappropriately watching Adult Swim, that were baked out of their mind, watching the Comedy Central or whatever it was. What's Adult Swim on? I guess Cartoon Network?
Yeah, Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Cartoon Network. And it was just like the greatest joke of all time, because they just bought the ad space to just have this insane thing that would just play, and everyone's like, did that just fucking happen? And I swear to God, that's what happened to me last night. I'm sitting here watching ABC, okay? Like, this is not Adult Swim. I'm expecting commercials for things that are telling me like how to get better sleep, and like, oh, if your joints are hurting, whatever. No, it's Melissa Joan Hart, and she's sitting here looking at the camera, introducing herself way too many times, and she's just like, hey, you might know me as the bitch on TV, but bitch is censored. And then she keeps saying it, and she's like, oh, I guess I can't say it. And I'm not saying the words you think I'm saying it with the W. Because she's Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
On TV.
And I'm just like, all right, this is weird. Maybe she's doing a new show. Like maybe something's happening. The commercial keeps going. And she's just like, if you know me, I'm Melissa Joan Hart. I love coffee. Bring some coffee and puts it on the table. She's like, there's so many things you can do with coffee. Not just drink coffee. Coffee can help you with fertilizer. Or coffee can help you with stains on your table.
What is
and
this a
she just
commercial
keeps
for?
talking about fucking coffee. And I'm like, this is weird. It's very self-referential. And like, I don't understand what this is for. It must be some new show. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. Now, Gia is sitting next to me. She's on her phone. She's not watching commercials. I'm watching commercials. And I have now hit a point that I'm like, am I high as shit, or is this commercial
transfixed
now 45 seconds in and Melissa Joan Hart is still talking about coffee?
I mean, this looks like, from what we're looking at right here, this looks like an SNL skit that's about to go dark. Like,
so it just keeps going. Now, to jump to the end before I jump back, this goes on for 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes, 1 second.
This is 3 minutes of ABC commercial time. All right? This isn't Adult Swim making a funny joke. This is some prime time. This must have cost so much
This is a very
money.
this is a polished commercial too. This is like,
and it's just Melissa Joan Hart talking about coffee. And here's the thing: I am not a coffee enthusiast. I don't understand. I love Starbucks. I drink my Starbucks. I don't understand the different brands of home coffee. It seems to me like they're promoting 3 coffees in one commercial that are different brands.
It's Maxwell House, Gevalia, and some sort of ethical bean coffee. Yeah.
Asbeanontv.com.
So they keep promoting asbeanontv.com, and they just go through, and she like pitches this one coffee, and she's like, yeah, here's Maxwell House, and here's all the things it could do. You can drink it as coffee, or you can stain your tables, or you can use the fertilizer, like all this shit. But then all of a sudden the commercial ends. It cuts to like black, but then it comes back and she starts promoting the next coffee.
What I'm getting from this, Tim, is that we're missing out on big coffee sponsorships because Melissa Joan Hart's taking them all.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is unacceptable.
Yo, this is some straight up Rick and Morty, like interdimensional television type shit.
Guys, I can't explain to you the experience I had last night because this just kept happening. This is a 3-minute video and it keeps going. She starts talking about all these different coffees, all these different things that you can do with coffee, and nothing about it is clear of what this is. There is a website you can go to that is asbeanontv.com. And unfortunately, with the setup we have right now, we can't all look at it. But if you guys can all just personally go to asbeanontv, BEAN,
like Michael Bean,
.com, and look at this website.
Not like Michael Bean. That's not how Michael Bean spells his name.
I know he spells it with an I, but it's okay.
I'm looking at this shit and just like you can buy all 3 of these types of coffee for only $19.99, and this looks like an old school 90s.
I'm googling it right now.
What the hell is this
infomercial thing? And I'm just like, what the fuck is actually going on with all this? I'm
100% sure I just got a virus on my PC because I went to this website.
That is definitely what the website
happening.
looks like.
It's definitely this website. None of the other websites.
But that's the thing, guys. This was on ABC. Like, you do not get more just like general TV than that. So I was like, I mean,
it's got to be funded by Maxwell House, right? That Maxwell House has to be making all of these brands.
So this thing,
it's Kraft Heinz. If you go to the top,
it's Kraft. Okay, Kraft Heinz, got it.
So this thing ends, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. Gia could not give 2 shits. She's just like, yeah, it's a weird commercial, and I'm like, no. That's the weirdest commercial I have ever seen in my fucking life. Okay. And she's just like, I don't know. And I was like, oh my God. So I don't even know what happened the final 45 minutes of Bachelor in Paradise, because I'm sitting there on the internet trying to get to the bottom of this.
Real infomercial about coffee. If you know the extension of the person you're looking for, dial it now.
Let's try to get to Melissa Joan Hart.
There's no one here to talk to. We clearly didn't expect anyone to call. But we totally expect people to visit asbeanontv.com to order classic Maxwell House,
what the
slow
fuck
roasted
is
Gevalia,
happening?
and indulgent ethical bean coffees because they're delicious and, according to the internet, super useful. But since you're here, tell us your favorite Melissa Joan Hart role and the strangest thing you've ever done with coffee.
So
I was a big fan of Clarissa Explains It All, where he would take the ladder and Sam would come. That was great. And then the weirdest thing I've ever done with coffee in college, when I was cramming for finals, I once just ate a spoonful of coffee grounds, and then at Subway, I felt like my heart was going to explode. My name's Greg, and I'm on the internet. Goodbye.
So, sorry. One thing I want to mention is halfway through this commercial, when Gia has already given up hope on me at all, she's just like, whatever. I'm not dealing with you.
You're too high. You ate too much of the cookie.
Guys, I if I'm lying, I'm dying, Greg Miller.
Yep.
I hear Salem's voice. Salem the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
You gotta be kidding me.
This fucking cat, the voice, starts trying to sell me coffee.
You gotta be kidding me.
Is this all at 3 minutes?
Yes, Greg. Yeah. Three minutes for a commercial is so long. It felt like an hour, and I could not believe the depths that we reached when we were going into this. So when it finally ended, I'm Googling it, and there wasn't a trace on the internet. No one was talking about what I just saw. I tweeted it and no one replied to me. I got like a like here, whatever. It was the least engaged tweet I have ever had. I'm like,
this video.
Am I making this up? Like, what the fuck is going on? And I was freaking out, and like to the point that last night I couldn't go to sleep. I'm just like, what the hell just happened, man? Like, I was like, I just got personally too many cooks. I didn't know this was possible. And then I started looking into it. Eventually, I realized, okay, that Maxwell House, a YouTube channel with 1,000 subscribers, posted the video yesterday.
Yeah.
That video only has 1,300 views.
Okay.
So this is one of those things that I am one of the few people in the world that got hit with this random experience that changed me. If I'm being
you were in the right
honest.
mindset. You know what I mean?
I was there. I was ready. But now that we are, I don't know, 12 hours removed from the situation, maybe 15, whatever.
This was posted on their Twitter 21 hours ago.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this. I was doing some research, and now it's starting to make a little more sense.
This makes no sense.
Yesterday was National Coffee Day. Now here's where this makes no sense. Ryan Reynolds' Maximum Effort Production Company thought it would be funny to do this.
Oh, okay.
So they partnered with multiple coffee brands and Melissa Joan Hart to do a 3-minute ad buy on ABC during Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, because like this isn't some 3-minute infomercial at 2 a.m. about a workout thing. This isn't some Bowflex shit. Like this is prime time TV space, and that's such a long time to buy. But it makes a lot more sense that Ryan Reynolds and his company would be involved somehow because they're kind of just goofy and they like fucking around with people. That's awesome. This is
my favorite thing during the whole thing was like no less than 5 times throughout these 3 minutes, a character, whether it was Melissa Joan Hart, the voice of Salem the cat, or just the narrator that oration style would kind of like talk to us via the text coming up on the screen, would remind us, yes, this is really happening.
Mm-hmm. It is like a fever pitch. I mean, it's a fever dream, right? Like this does seem like something that you may have, if you'd have told me this, but we didn't have evidence sitting in front of us, I would not believe that this was a real thing that you saw.
I know.
If you go, I found the Maxwell House commercial that you're talking about on their YouTube channel. Now it's at 1.4, so it's 1,400 views right now. Kind of Funny is the only comment on it, and it just says Tim Geddes sent me. So if everybody could go there to that and put it, Tim Geddes sent me when you go watch this and blow it up.
Oh, I refreshed the video. It's not popping up. Do you think they gotta like approve their comments or something?
You think so? Is it one of those lame things? Why don't they? I mean, like our YouTube comments are always great. Why can't they just leave theirs open?
I'm gonna post spam links in there, like we always get on our videos.
Yeah, right.
Just
like hot video. Watch
free
this.
sex video or something.
Yeah, cowards. That's what I love about that is that people that have enough money and the crazy ideas now just throw those out there and have fun with it. It sucks though that, like you're saying, Tim, the Bachelor in Paradise audience is so desensitized to commercials or just doesn't give a shit about the internet that nobody else noticed it but you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's also one of those. It's also one of the worst things you'd want to see while high, because like if y'all remember what the first time I played Death Stranding, which is a video game by Hideo Kojima, and I'm very freaked out. It's going to fuck with me mentally. It's going to do all these weird things to trip me out. And during one of the intro sequences that's supposed to kind of make you feel uneasy and uncomfortable, an earthquake hit. And my room started shaking. And I had one. And if I was high during that moment, oh my God, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. But in that moment, I was like, oh my God, no way, they did it. And I was like, no, it's not related, Andy. It's not fucking related. What are you talking about?
Amazing.
Devon Sawa.
Yeah.
We are.
That's the story.
Oh yeah, no, that's how it goes. That's you've been here. You see how it's.
Yeah.
Devon, I just want you to know that I was like, this happened to me and I have to tell this story. And this morning there was a question mark on the calendar of Devon Sawa as a guest because it wasn't like 100% confirmed. We didn't know. And I talked to Gray this morning. I'm like, is Devon on the show? And he was like, yeah, he is. I'm like, cool. I have a story to tell. And whether or not Devon's on, I'm telling the story.
I just sent the 3-minute commercial to my wife with no context.
Yeah, good. How far do you think she's going to get into that before she starts contemplating divorce?
What did you say?
Is that? Yeah.
I don't think we should get this coffee.
Tell her to eat coffee. Yeah, tell her to eat a couple gummies as well. Devon, what do you do for fun outside of doing the whole I'm an actor stuff? Like, what are the hobbies we're doing?
Kids are the hobbies. Kids, they eat up all our time now when I'm not working. I don't know, man. The last 2 years have been the last year and a half. COVID is nothing. We were going to move back to Canada, and that got changed. So we're staying here. So all our stuff is in international storage and coming back to us.
Oh
so we've been in Airbnbs and And so I haven't been doing anything. I've been working. I've been really, really kind of just working, and nothing exciting. Soccer practice.
So wait, were you like in the middle of like pandemic starts? You're like, this will only be the 2 weeks. Let's just mail all our stuff up to Canada and we'll catch up with it.
Yeah. Why did we move? We've been talking about moving back to Canada for a long time. And during the pandemic felt like when I had certain people in the industry, like trying to convince me that there was going to be an all out civil war and that I should buy guns and like
toilet paper.
You know what I mean? Like, hunker down. It's going to be a war. And, I thought, Canada. So we do have citizenship there.
Yeah.
And
go there. Could be a respite.
We thought about that, but then we were looking at houses there. We were looking at houses down here. We found one here first, and so we're staying. And we will fight in the Civil War if it comes.
Are you prepared? Have you gotten your weapons, your implements?
No, I don't have any weapons. But I'm sure I could find one if
they're just
we've all got that friend. We've all got that one friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's like, don't tell anyone this. And then you look at his room, he's got an armory. You're like, okay.
I have the friend with a bunker and he loads his own bullets. And
bullets.
all that.
Yeah. The old shells. Yeah. I've got a couple of friends like that. Yeah. It's one of the fun things about doing jujitsu every once in a while. Someone's like this, want to come up to a retreat in the middle of a forest and learn how to kill things? I'm like, no. I'm good. Let's stay here where there's Starbucks. That's my kind of speed. And I was going to ask why, Tim, we don't get the coffee sponsorships. And then it just dawned on me that they don't need to. They get it for free.
Yeah,
Starbucks.
They do get it for
Venti
free.
iced coffee.
Yeah. This is the most unsponsored episode of all time.
Dude, if we ever get a Starbucks sponsorship, I'll lose my shit. I'll be like, we've ascended.
Is it a sponsor?
What's that?
The energy drink isn't a sponsor?
No. Every once in a while we'll get an energy drink sponsor or something like that. We'll get pinged for stuff like that. But Andy's turns out addicted to energy drinks.
I mean, I wish, Devon, that anybody reached out for me and was like, you sell so many products for us, Andy. Here's like a big ass check, and it's like 3 feet long, like
I want a real big check, like not metaphorically.
You want like the Happy Gilmore, even when you're coming in 15th place, you're still getting the big novelty check.
Oh yeah, the big ass check, the ones at like Publishers Clearinghouse, or what's it called?
That's right. You nailed it. Crushed it.
What a callback. Publishers Clearinghouse. They still doing that?
Yeah, probably.
When I visited the spot above the comic book store, I don't know if that's still a place.
It's
RIP.
Yeah, RIP. It still exists, but we have unfortunately had to move out of it because that was I think it was what, like,
well, it wasn't unfortunate. It was the plan. It just is taking longer to get to the new spot than
yes.
Right. We moved. We were gonna leave no matter what, Devin. We had a brand new studio, still have the brand new studio, and so we were going to leave in 2020. But then when we were forced out by a global pandemic in 2020, then we let the lease lapse on it to get to the new place in what we thought would be 2021. But then the pandemic kept kicking, so now it's 2022 that we'll go to the new spot.
Right. You guys had cans. You guys had stacks of cans of something that was
LaCroix.
Oh, is that it?
Yes, it was LaCroix, and
also
that's a fun story.
Not a sponsorship.
No, that's a fun story.
No, I wish.
Tim won a competition.
Won a LaCroix competition. Right.
That's
And but what you didn't see was when we had to move out of that space mid-pandemic, there was still 3 pallets of the LaCroix left sitting outside. And you're asking yourself, how does one get rid of 3 pallets of moldy, dirty cans of LaCroix? Very interestingly, we pay Kevin's brother to pour them all down the drain.
Wow.
Very sad thing.
Yeah.
Broke my heart.
And then we get the cans, and then we recycle the cans.
They were so moldy and so gross.
He's young. He'll bounce back.
It was a bad situation.
The outsides were moldy or the insides or what?
It was just the
insides
outside.
are fine.
You can't keep you can't keep cardboard. It gets moist after a while, and that moisture locks in some mold and stuff like that. So we decided, and we unfortunately had to dispose of them. But we did recycle the cans. We were very ecological.
The landlord has a mold problem now.
Well,
yeah, not our problem. We rented. All right, he should come.
Sounds like his problem. Andy, kind of funny.
I have a question for the group. Thank you, Nick Scarpino.
I have a question for you, Andy.
First, a word from our sponsors.
Damn it, Andy, let me get there. Because I was going to say, rain over me.
Stop
mini gummy bears. White ones aren't the sponsor. Coffee ain't the sponsor. But do you want to know who is? It's people that if you were on patreon.com/kindoffunny games, you wouldn't have to listen to. But you're not on patreon.com/kindoffunny. So here's a word from this week's sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by MeUndies. Are you afraid of the glow in the dark? Well, shield your eyes because the new MeUndies Halloween just dropped dead. Get it? Because there's new Halloween MeUndies out. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Greg Miller and I'm the king of Halloween and I love my MeUndies. Of course, they're the only underwear I wear and I'm always happy throughout the year when I get to my candy corn MeUndies. I've had those for a long time and I like them quite a bit, but now they got new Halloween prints. You don't have to do that. MeUndies are made from natural fibers sourced from beechwood trees, making their micromodal, fabric soft, breathable, and dangerously cozy. Get your spooky season up and haunting with 5 new prints. I See You, and that's EYE, My Boo, Tricks and Treats, Lazy Bones, and Lazy Pumpkin. Available in undies, bralettes, socks, and loungewear in sizes XS through 4XL. There are a lot of options to consider, but make a decision quickly because there's somebody right behind you. To get 15% off your first order and free shipping and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/morning. That's MeUndies.com/morning. Our other sponsor of the day, why, it's Quip, ladies and gentlemen. When's the last time you got rewarded for brushing your teeth? With Quip's smart electric toothbrush, good habits can earn great perks like free products, gift cards, and more. The Quip Smart Brush for adults and kids connects to the Quip app with Bluetooth. Track when and how well you brush, get tips and coaching to improve your habits, earn points for daily brushing and bonus points for completing challenges like streaks, redeem for rewards like free products, gift cards, and discounts from Quip and its partners. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Greg Miller and I use this toothbrush. It's very simple. I have the all black one. It syncs up with my phone. It tells me how much, and then I get to redeem it all the time for free gift cards. And you know, they make you brush a long time to do it, but you do get it in the end, which I appreciate. Start getting rewards for brushing your teeth today. Go to getquip.com/kindafunny, all one word, right now to save $10 on a Quip Smart Electric Toothbrush. That's $10 off a smart electric toothbrush at getquip.com/kindafunny, GETQUIP.com/kindafunny. Quip, the good habits company. Now what do you got, Ian?
Back to the show.
Before that, if we were a real entertainment group, we would run that Dan Bliss Joe Hart ad instead of our real sponsors this week. 3 minutes of that. Just take the hit. Just take the hit.
That's such a good call.
So funny.
I wanted to talk about how the new James Bond movie is coming up, and obviously Daniel Craig is out. Who do we want to see as the next Bond?
Who is the next Bond?
Devon Sawa.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Devin, can you do a? Yeah, I'll do it. Not even skipping a beat. Now, do you do it? Do you do it with your accent, your normal accent, or do you try to do the British accent? Can you do the British accent?
I just bring back my Canadian accent. Just
you go hard with
Canadian.
The Canadian Bond.
Canadian Bond.
But it's
Jimmy Bond.
What's Canadian Bond's drink of choice? Is this still a martini?
It's a Molson.
Yeah. This is the Molson Ice. Yeah, I love it. Nice, yeah. Oh, God bless him.
Just rolls in with a toque.
Like the least sexy thing ever, but it doesn't matter.
You mean?
Everyone loves Canada. I don't know. That's a great question. That is the interesting question. It's gonna all like rely on what they want to do, how this movie plays out. But it's getting good reviews. Rohrbeck saw it. He said he liked it a lot. So I'm excited to go watch it next week. Right?
Next week we're seeing. I mean, a funny thing about No Time to Die, and you know, I love all the media and film stuff of how everything's shaken out. No Time to Die was the first movie to get delayed from the pandemic.
Wow.
So it's actually kind of interesting that it's taken, quote unquote, this long to get to it. But like, you know, we've had Black Widow, we've had like Fast 9, like other movies, but No Time to Die was, if you remember, people watching, we did James Bond in review to lead into No Time to Die. And that was like the final like kind of motion between us working from in the studio to working from home. And then the movie got delayed and here we are. So like, it's kind of interesting. So I'm really excited, especially because I didn't expect them to market this movie as the end of an era. But I think that a lot of time has passed. So that has turned what was a question into an answer. We all thought like, oh, this might be Daniel Craig's final time, but like now officially, because of how much time has passed, it is. And I've seen some commercials right after the Melissa Joan Hart one during Bachelor in Paradise, where they're promoting No Time to Die as the end of the Daniel Craig era. Like they are really pushing this hard. So I'm kind of interested in that.
I think a genius move would be to announce that he's going to do one more in a year.
And I don't know. We'll see.
Like the old fighter coming back out of retirement.
Just give him one more. I think they've already done that twice. I think he wanted out after. I think
Skyfall. He wanted Skyfall to be the end.
He wanted that to be the end, and I think they kind of threw money at him for Spectre.
What was that, Devon?
Isn't this his fourth?
This is his fifth.
This is fifth.
Yeah.
And we should all note that Devon, we're all huge Daniel Craig fans, but I think he's just wanted to be. I think he's wanted to kind of part ways that role for a while. And I for one know what happens when people just throw free Starbucks at you. You stay at a company. You stay there for 6-7 years. You won't leave.
They're gonna get rid of you. Is he confirmed for all the Knives Out things, or do we not know anything about Knives Out too?
Oh
yeah. See, go do that. This one, right? Bond thing played out in like 1982. All right, go.
I want him to do
the
next Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. I don't understand why they didn't do a sequel to that.
Remember how good that one was? And
I guess they did do a sequel to it with Claire Foy, but it was like, I don't know. I liked his version of it with now I'm blanking on the actress's name.
It was the Fincher movie, right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. The Fincher movie was good. I liked that, but I don't know. I mean, I stand by. I don't know. They can do a lot with Bond, but they need to take it in a different direction. It needs to not be the same movie that they've made 25 times now. I think they could have some.
Well, I feel like with that, Nick, and I know you're probably the most equipped to have this conversation, but like I feel like Bond's kind of evolved so much with different kind of iterations and different eras and different meanings to people. But this Daniel Craig era is obviously the most modern, but the most comparable to things like Mission Impossible that have been contemporaries to it. And in a lot of ways, I mean, Mission Impossible predated this era of Bond and kind of started in the Pierce Brosnan era with the first couple, with 1 and 2 specifically. But Mission Impossible 3 through 6 have evolved into being this.
No, they for sure took their cues from the newer Bonds and were like, how do we make this better? How do we root this around a central character like Ethan Hunt, which is the Tom Cruise character? But Tom Cruise's team was smart. They were like, let's make it about a team. It's like a team thing, so we can have other characters come in and out of it, and eventually kind of maybe. I mean, I don't think Tom Cruise is anywhere close to leaving that role, but I think that's what we liked about the last couple Bond movies, was that they kind of put that team together.
Totally, and I think that at this point, personally, Mission Impossible is above and beyond the best that we have of this genre.
Yeah.
But the Daniel Craig Bond movies are still kind of kicking. I feel like they've been on every other track, which means No Time to Die is on the other track. We should be good.
Well, for one, it's got a great director, and two, I mean, the team that's putting it together is great. But it pains me to say that I think Mission Impossible is the stronger franchise. Actually, it doesn't pain me out. I think they're both great. Mission Impossible is freaking awesome. Looking forward to the next one. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a huge question, Andy. That's on everyone's brains, especially the Broccolis, the producers of the series. I don't know what they're going to do, and I'm fascinated to see, because in prior years, recasting Bond was like a huge deal. But I just don't know I don't know where their heads are at in this modern era.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is like, I think people have cried for Idris Elba for so long. They've cried, I've heard, for Bond should be a woman, right? Do you think, Nick, that they'll get that different, that they will go in that direction, that they will fundamentally change what people think of as Bond? Or do you think they'll try to keep it just straight and it's some British guy?
I hope they do. I hope they do something fun with it. Because again, it's one of those things where, like, we've already seen, like, I'm looking at the actress's name right now from Captain Marvel. Do you guys know off the top? Lashana Lynch. She's in it, and she's playing the new 007, right? He is retired. 007 is a moniker. Obviously, James Bond is his name, but that could also just be something that they work into the new storyline. So I would love to see a couple movies where they just kind of commit to that. And they're like, this is going to be a female. It's the 007 is what's going forward, as sort of like the moniker and as sort of the code, and we just have some fun with that. But I also think just movies now have such a big, like, the importance is so put on building out some sort of like universe with them and teams and all these characters that they can do spinoffs to. So it just becomes like, that to me would be an interesting way to do it. We're like, maybe not as the new Bond franchise, but we're doing a spinoff series of like called 007 or something like that, where it's going to be three and done, something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just
I'm worried that we've kind of waited too long for Idris Elba, because I feel like
he's gotten older. Right?
Yeah,
it reminds me of the Donald Glover Miles Morales thing to have Donald Glover be the first like black Spider-Man before Miles Morales was even really a thing, you know? Like,
well, to be clear with that, Andy, they wanted him to be Peter.
That's what I'm saying. Before, like, just like a black Spider-Man, like to have him be before Miles Morales was even really kind of in a household name or whatever. And I feel like we asked for it for so long, and then it kind of just went away. And then there was a little nod here and there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Idris Elba played a role in one of the next Bond movies, but I don't I feel like it might be too late for him to be like the Bond, because that means like 7 movies. That's gonna be like 7 years of your career dedicated to Bond. Go ahead, Nicholas Scarpino.
Let me ask you this question, Andy. All important question. I'm 41 years old. Is that too old to be Bond?
How tall are you?
Solid 5'8". Solid 5'8" with what in heels.
All right. We'll think about it.
Okay.
Devin, you have your finger on the pulse of Hollywood. What's going to happen with James Bond?
Does he even want to be Bond?
Idris?
Yeah.
Idris has mentioned that he would like to be Bond, but it's never something. Yeah, he said he would like to be Bond, but it's never been something that he has outwardly like, oh, I got to be Bond. Like, that's the role that I'm gunning for. I feel like it's just sort of if it happens, it happens. And he would love to be in that role. But that was from an interview. Let me see. That was from an interview in 2018, it looks like. So who knows what's happened since then. Henry Cavill would be great.
I think he would be fantastic in it.
Oh my God, Idris Elba he'd be incredible. He's like perfect. He's that sort of statuesque stoic role, stoic character. And yeah, I think he would be great. But I'm also looking at other people they're sort of recommending, and all these recommendations are great. Like, I think Daniel Kaluuya would be amazing. Tom Hardy would be awesome.
That's what I was gonna say is Tom Hardy. I think Tom Hardy would be an edgier version of
and we've kind of seen him almost kind of play that role in like Venom. Inception.
Oh,
right.
No, not Venom.
Venom, right? Yeah.
No, not Venom. Yeah, in that Inception role, I feel like he was kind of that. I'm dressed up nice and I'm gonna be a sarcastic asshole with you, but I'm smart and I've got what it takes to like kick people's asses and stuff. Yeah, Tom Hardy would be a really great choice too.
It's really interesting to kind of look at franchises and characters and really ask, like, what is it that makes this character, this franchise. And I think that, we've seen now 3 Spider-Man reboots just in movies. We've seen now 7, 8 reboots of James Bond. Like, James Bond's kind of the originating franchise of rebooting with new actors with also kind of new intent, like a new vibe. It's new like tone. Similar elements, like there's Q and there's like the Britishness and the suit and the down the barrel and all that, but like, what is it that makes James Bond? Like, could there be a James Bond that's not British? I don't know. Like, is that a core element to what that character and that franchise is?
I think the Secret Service aspect of it, like the 00 status, MI6 rather than Secret Service, but Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's Secret Service. I think the MI6 aspect of it has to stay. I think at its core, you're dealing with the spy genre. As to whether or not Bond has to be male, as to whether or not he has to be British. I think he has to be British. The character has to be British. Yeah. But the idea of, I'll be 100% honest. I said this before. I'll say it again. I love all the Bond movies, but some of my favorites are the Roger Moore films because they're silly and they're just made for fun. And at the end of the day, like, I love Casino Royale and I love what Pierce Brosnan did. And I love, Sean Connery as the Bonds, but sometimes you're just like this. That was such a fun era because it was the late 70s, early 80s. And you just kind of watch them. You're like, yeah, sure, the car can go underwater. Yeah, sure, there's lasers everywhere. Yeah, they're going to fight in space, Greg. Space.
Why not?
Why not? So, if Fast and Furious can go to space, Bond can go back to space. That's all I'm saying.
I say we bring back Timothy Dalton.
I thought you were about to say Timothy Chalamet, and I'm like, that might be a little weird, but maybe that's what we need. I don't know. A young James Bond.
He's too busy doing Dune. I would love to. I don't know. I would love to see them do. Here's my pitch off the top of my dome, Tim.
Wow! Everybody, get your pen and paper out.
You do like a 7-part, 7 seasons of like an HBO show. And the first one's called like 001. And you just do the different characters all the way up to 007, and then you end it. And that's just because there's 7 of them.
Holy shit. I'm sold. That's cool as hell.
Because that was always the coolest thing to me too, right? You want to talk about world building, an untapped resource is there. 007 is the code name for Bond. There's other 00s. Yeah. And in order to be a 00, you have to be a badass. Why are we not telling other stories? Like, let's branch this out. If you're worried about people, an uprising saying, hey, Bond has to be this specific archetype, right? And you're worried about that, do it 006. Bring back what's his name? The guy's head lopped off. From Andy from that series you like with the short kids, the Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Sean Bean. Bring back Sean Bean. Let him be 006. You know, I don't know. There's lots of things you guys can do with it. It'd be fun.
Short kids.
That's what you had. That's how you describe Lord of the Rings.
He's being disrespectful, Devin. He loves the movies. He just gives me shit about Lord of the Rings.
Devin, earlier, Andy brought up what's the character's name?
Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
I swear to, I was like, that's some Harry Potter bullshit. And Andy's making fun of it. And I was like, oh, it's Lord of the Rings. Andy's serious and loves this. That's crazy.
Oh, no. Yeah. Grima Wormtongue. Yeah. The voice of Chucky is the one who King Theoden's under. Greg, close your eyes, Greg.
I actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Grima Wormtongue. Theoden is he's all possessed by Sauron. And he's like, a just question, my liege. And he's like doing he's that guy with the black hair and he looks all sick and shit. And they run him out of town. They say, get the fuck out of here, Grima. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's the voice of Chucky. That's cool.
Yeah. Devin, I don't think we've ever asked you, what's the better trilogy, Lord of the Rings or Clerks?
You don't have to answer this, Devin.
I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I'm going with I like Clerks.
Let me, Devin, I'll surmise it for you. I'll summarize. I'll summarize Lord of the Rings for you. Just imagine taking 9 hours of your life and shoving it into a gas station toilet. Just imagine that.
He doesn't mean that. He loves the movies. He loves the movies, Devin. He's just talking shit.
I just like to fuck with Andy because I love visiting him. No, it's a beautiful trilogy. You should absolutely watch it. Try to get the highest version you can and watch it on a dope TV. But it's no Harry Potter.
Oh God,
I haven't seen those either.
Really?
What are you teaching these kids? What are you just showing these kids UFC videos? What are you doing?
We have no TV in this house. No, that genre, the fantasy genre, I just can't. I can appreciate it, but I never got into it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. You're a man of taste.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's like I finally. The other thing is I finally realized that I'm not an Aliens fan.
Really?
I'm a Marines fan. I only liked part 2, and I
only like Aliens.
The Marines.
Yeah.
Everything else that came before or after or I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I just like the Marines.
That was one of the big things when I was growing up that I had seen Alien and I was like, and it wasn't until the second one came around and I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. The Marines. One of my
favorite movies.
And then you get Alien 3 and you're like, they're going to make a third Aliens. Of course it's going to have Marines in it, right? No, it's going to have prisoners in it. And it's going to be
rocking it.
It was such a weird tilt. I wish they'd go back to that time period for Aliens and make another one with the Colonial Marines because I thought that was such a cool concept.
Where are we at?
Aliens.
Devin, where are we at with Starship Troopers? How do we feel about Starship Troopers?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's one of those guilty pleasures. Like it's one of those that at the time watching it back then, I thought this movie is terrible. But it's one of those that when you watch it with an older lens, you're like, oh, this is like, they are so self-aware in what they're doing. And that's one reason why we're talking about Starship Troopers, Tim. And how
Denise Richards.
It's one of those that just, you think it's like a shitty movie as a kid, but as you grow up and watch it later, it really is like Last Action Hero, where it is so like, it's aware of what it is. What's up, Kevin?
Yeah. I'd like to go back and revisit Last Action Hero now.
Yeah, me too. I haven't done it.
I bet you it's a lot better now.
Oh, it's fantastic. Like it is so smart, and you will be incredibly impressed by like how ahead of its time it was. It's one of those movies that just really impressive to go back and be like, God damn, they knew what they were doing. It's so smart. So smart. Kevin, what are you muttering over here?
Yeah, what?
Sorry, I said watch out when you were like saying that it like you have to watch it now because it was a great movie when it came out. You know what I mean?
I thought you were talking shit about Last Action Hero. Oh, we won't stand for any.
We won't stand for it, not for a moment.
Here, while we're in the cinema portion of the show here on the Kind of Funny podcast, Brian R. Monahan writes in to patreon.com/kindafunny and says, given Hollywood's obsession with remakes and reboots, which of your movies, Devon Sawa, would you like to see redone? Little Giants, Idle Hands, or Slackers?
I'd like to see without me, right?
Presumably you're a character in it.
Probably at
right,
some point,
yeah.
right?
Well, I would like to see somebody tackle the Anton character, a young kid tackle the Anton character of Idle Hands.
Yeah.
No, I would like to see if any of these young kids. No one really is doing any of that comedy anymore. It's and I bet you they could. So I'd like that out of everything. I think I'd like to see that the most.
Well, apparently Tim and Joey are huge potheads now, so they could come over. They can supervise. They could see.
I want it, dude. Idle Hands too. Let's go. You know what? Actually, real talk. I'm pretty sure the first time I had one of the Joey cookies was watching Idle Hands for her first time. My millionth time in this very room.
Oh, wow.
There's someone recently, just a director recently went into Sony and pitched did a whole pitch for an Idle Hands 2 with me and Seth and Eldon, and it didn't go.
Bite?
They didn't bite.
We'll raise money for it.
I was going to say, how much
money.
you need? Tim, put it on the thermometer for Kind of Funny Day 2022. We'll find
I think they need a little bit more than we're capable of fundraising on our Twitch platform.
You doubt this audience.
We're still trying to recoup funds from the first one, so
that breaks my heart. I hate
the DVD sales aren't there yet. But we're any second, they'll get there.
Almost
10
even.
years.
What was it? Oh, like, I'm like Tim, and I know we've talked about it before. If you're a new audience member, though, like growing up for the longest, not growing up, I guess, through high school, through college, and then even into adulthood for a while, every Halloween I would watch Idle Hands. Like that was the Halloween movie.
Right.
And I was watching the other day Hocus Pocus, which is not one of my Halloween movies. I know for a lot of people it is. I think it falls into that weird category for me of I was like, when it dropped, I might have felt a little too old for it. Clearly, I mean, it's a good movie, so it doesn't matter. But all that, and then it was in a weird spot for me for some reason. So watching that the other day with Jen, because obviously I'm king of Halloween, so we're starting even earlier than usual with our watching of Halloween. We've decorated. We're getting ready to make sure our kid is into Halloween. I'm watching it, and when the kid gets up on stage to yell about the witches in the crowd, the band guy grabs him. He's like, "All right, kid, you've had your fun. Now get." And I was like, "Holy shit, that is what the Offspring guy says to Anton in Idle Hands," but I never got that it was a Hocus Pocus reference until I watched Hocus Pocus as an adult.
I learn something new every day.
There you go. Right? Because it's like the same kind of thing of like the hand dropping and tearing off the scalp of the Offspring guy, but this time around it wasn't nearly as violent in Hocus Pocus.
I think obviously, like if they ever do remake it, we want Devon to be in the movie just because it's like we want you to be like the starring lead, but I think it would be a lot cooler for you to be like that one cameo at the end that just kind of like pops in and drops like a little one-liner. We're like, oh shit, they did it. They got Devon to be in the remake or whatever.
We got the Idle Hands universe.
Yeah, exactly. And we sort of we create this, and you find out, wow, it wasn't a remake. It's actually a sequel. Like I think there's a lot of cool stuff that we could do. And Devon, I'm offering you right now. I think we can raise at least like $2,000 right now. Like,
well,
is that enough?
The pitch idea for the sequel was that me and Jessica Alba's character had a kid. And the kid doesn't live with me, but somehow the kid gets possessed, and I got to go back and save this kid because the kid now has the hand.
Oh shit!
I love it.
I got to go back and figure out how to help. I mean, smaller role. The kid is obviously the main character. That was the pitch.
But still, that'd be cool. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Hollywood, get your shit together.
100%. Now, but what's interesting is Devon, I of course call you a friend, but I also call myself a Devon Sawa super fan. And I had never thought of you having this like being like the horror movie guy. Yeah. And then on Twitter with the Chucky thing, you were talking to somebody the other day and you responded to it because I think they were trying to fan cast you in something else or whatever. You're like, I'm all about horror. And I was like, oh, right. Well, I totally didn't think about Final Destination.
Yeah.
Idle Hands in there. Well, shut up, Nick. You know what I mean? But then, even then,
Casper. It's spooky.
That doesn't count as a horror movie. But like, is that how did Chucky work out for you to be in it? Did you approach them? Did they approach you? Did you have to audition like everything else?
Yeah, my agent sent me the audition with, I don't know if you're interested or not. They weren't sure whether I'd be into it. And I put everything else. Like, it was like, that was what I wanted to do. And I remember on an audition, you leave slates, which is basically your name and whatever. But I left this long, like 10-minute message to Don Mancini about like what I was going to do and how I was going to approach this. And apparently he fell in love with just the slate alone. And that's how I got the part. But yeah, man, I auditioned and fought for it. And I like to try. I'm going to do a horror in Jersey right now. I did Hunter x Hunter, last year or 2 years ago. I love horror. I think it's do what you love. I love to watch it. So I love to do it.
So do you seek out those projects like that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They know, my agents know that I when it comes to independent films, I don't want to do the rom-coms or the I'd rather just, go out into the woods and kill things and
and move your hand weird.
and move my hand weird.
See, I'm the opposite. Everybody on this show knows it. Like I just can't do horror. It fucks with me too much. I can't sleep at night. I'm having like a peaceful sleep and like I'm about to fall into that space and suddenly like horrifying image pops in my head and I'm just like, oh god damn it, So it's been tough for me because our friend Rahul Kohli, who has been on The Haunting of Hill House, or was it the other one?
Manor.
Blind Manor, and now he is on Midnight Mass on Netflix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to watch and support, but it's like
he's dead to us. He's dead to you.
Yeah, like I want to watch these shows because I know people love them, and I know that they are.
The Mike Flanagan shows are blowing up,
awesome.
Man. That's one guy I would love to work with.
Yeah, they're blowing up, and it's like God, I want to watch and be able to see like, hey, just clip out the scenes that you're in, and like,
right.
I want to watch your monologues, and I want to watch like you perform. But God, I just don't think I could put myself through 8 episodes or whatever it is of an hour long of just being terrified and feeling uneasy the whole time.
Right.
It's not like Blind Manor was. It's not that kind of scary. It's scary, but it's more like as you see, like what is going to happen. The new one.
You're talking about Midnight Mass?
Yeah.
I'm watching that this weekend. I'm going away. I got the weekend off.
Ooh, nice.
I know kids. I could put it on for the weekend. That the new Sopranos show. I can't. I can't wait. Friday night, like as soon as that drops, that's my shit right there.
I'm so fascinated to see how that show plays out.
Yeah.
The movie.
It's a movie, right?
Movie rather. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated
cool.
to see what this is like.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it because I always liked Sopranos more, but I always like more of the idea of Sopranos. Like I would catch an episode like errantly, and then when Netflix first came around, I got the discs. I'm like, I'm gonna watch The Sopranos beginning to end, and then I'd get into it and then fall off. And then I think even with HBO Max, I tried again and fell off. And it's just like there's a lot to catch up on, but a 2-hour movie, sure, I'll jump in. Why not?
Yeah,
be part of that. Yeah.
Hey, go Greg. Let me catch up. Let me tell you, it's exactly like Lord of the Rings here.
Oh God.
I'm gonna give you the long and short of Sopranos.
Sure.
Ready for it?
Yeah,
The gabagool.
There it is.
You're caught
Nick
up.
is Italian.
You're caught up.
He can say
That's
that.
It's all you gotta know. Give me the gabagool.
He can say it. He can say it.
He can say whatever he wants. I just want it on the record. Devin, I know we gotta let go. You gotta go soon. So I want to get one more question in here. This comes from Agents of Origin, who wrote in to patreon.com/KindaFunny and said, with so many iconic films under your belt, surely you've taken some mementos from the sets you were on. What are some of the interesting things you've collected?
Oh man, I gave my I have nothing. I don't keep anything, and I now I'm kicking myself. But I remember I gave my one of my best friends at the time. I thought nothing of it, but I gave him the inhaler for Idle Hands, the asthma inhaler, which is also a pipe. He won't give it back to me now, like, and he's keeping it. Like,
steal it from him.
That I have a stand-in version of the hand. I have a football from Little Giants,
nice.
Signed by the All Madden team. What else do I got? I think that's it.
It's all in storage right now. International storage trying to get all the way back to you.
It really is all in. My PlayStation 5 is in international storage.
Don't even say that. That's a heartbreaker. That's impossible.
I had to have it the day it came out, and I got it, and then it went right into international storage. It's been there ever since.
That's absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah,
that's a horror movie in itself.
I get it in a couple weeks.
Sure.
And I could get that new Aliens game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Fire team. Yeah, we were playing that. You get to be the Marines. Yeah, what's not to like? Yeah,
run around and shoot shit.
All right.
But before we let Devin go, I just want to say that we already pitched the Idle Hands reboot, right? And we have about a $2,000 budget for it. But like, we're getting Mighty Ducks reboots all over the place. We're getting not Uncle Joey,
Uncle Buck.
We're getting the John Stamos show on Disney Plus.
Big Shot.
Where is the Little Giants like Renaissance? When are we going to bring that back in some form where you are the coach?
Big Giants,
yeah. Maybe let's work on that. We can work on that title a bit more.
It's called Giants.
Big Giants is already a film I got.
Big Giants.
Like, when are we going to do that? We've seen, like, we're getting Mighty Ducks again, and obviously Emilio Estevez was the coach in that. I want to see a reboot of Little Giants. Like, Greg, what are we doing?
I'll work on that.
I won't lie to you. As you know, I'm Devon Sawa's biggest fan. I'm a historian. I've never seen Little Giants.
What?
Oh, man. Little Giants is worth seeing.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? But you're
that sounds like an Amazon watch party or a Twitch watch party with Nick Scarpino and Mike.
I'll watch it.
That's crazy to me because it's like not only are you a Devon Sawa fan, but you're a football fan. You grew up a fan of football like I did.
Well, I came to football late. That was one of the things to think about. Where my parents did not like sports, so I had to. It was like high school when I really started to actually care about football.
Oh my God! When I was a kid, like give me all the sports movies. Give me the soccer one. Yeah, Sandlot, all that shit. I was so into that.
Andy, I'm looking on Amazon for Little Giants that came out in 1994. And the one thing under it in 2019, Little Giants season 1. Now, I don't know if it's what you're looking for. Nope, it's not. I can confirm it is a wildlife.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table to bullshit about whatever it is they want to bullshit about. Remember, you can write in, you can get it ad free, you can get the post show we're about to do on patreon.com/kindoffunny. But of course, you can get it for free, youtube.com/kindoffunny, roosterteeth.com, podcast services around the globe. Devon Sawa, as usual, it's been fun to hang out with you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Remember, everybody, Chucky debuts October 12th, USA Sci-Fi. Perfect Halloween viewing. Devon plays twins, but they didn't pay him twice.
Beautiful.
Heartbreaker. It's a heartbreaker.
Beautiful.
All right. Devon, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Until next time, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
It's been our pleasure to serve you.
Episode 1's called Microzilla. It's about an iguana.
Bye, Devon.